All right, let's dive right in. According to one technical analyst, Bitcoin is at a massive crossroads right now. We're talking about a pivotal moment that could totally define its next big move, and we are going to walk you through their entire roadmap.
I mean, this is the multi-billion-dollar question, right? Is the price about to explode to the upside in a huge breakout, or is it getting ready to fall off a cliff? You can practically feel the tension in the market.
So just to be super clear here, what we're about to explore is one specific, very detailed point of view. We're going to get inside this analyst's head, see how they're reading the charts, and figure out exactly what signals they're watching for.
Okay, before we get to the juicy stuff, the predictions, we've got to learn the language. Let's do a quick breakdown of the key tools this analyst is using to map out all the possibilities.
First up is something called Elliott Wave theory. Now, don't let the name scare you. Just think of it as a way to read the market's mood. The whole idea is that markets move in these repeating patterns, or waves, that are really just driven by the swing of human emotion between greed and fear. This is like a core piece of the puzzle here.
Next, we've got moving averages. You've probably seen these. They're basically just smoothed out price lines that help you see the real trend. And for this analysis, we're going to be laser focused on two specific ones, the 55-week and the 200-day moving averages. They often act as major floors or ceilings for the price.
And finally, the infamous death cross. Yeah, it sounds super dramatic, and honestly, it often is. This happens when a short-term average price crosses below a long-term one. Historically, it's a pretty bearish sign, and it gives us some really fascinating context for what's happening right now.
All right, we've got our toolkit. Now let's look at the actual map. The analyst has laid out count them, three very distinct scenarios, three potential paths that Bitcoin could take right from this spot.
Okay, so here they are. The yellow path is what some traders call a sucker's rally. It's a bounce that looks good, feels good, but it's really just a trap before the price heads lower. Then you have the blue path. This is the one all the bulls are dreaming of, a powerful, sustained breakout that just smashes through resistance. And lastly, there's the orange path. Think of this one as more of a choppy, sideways grind, a small bounce that doesn't really go anywhere decisive.
Now here is the most crucial point. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the big blue breakout or a smaller bounce. According to this analyst, none of it should be taken seriously until Bitcoin can punch through a very specific price ceiling. That is the gate it absolutely has to unlock.
So, to make things even more interesting, the analyst looks back. They ask, what happened the last few times we saw that scary death cross signal? As you'll see, the past might have some pretty big clues for us. And check this out. The pattern is crystal clear. In 2018, 2020, and again in 2022, after a death cross happened, the price didn't just collapse. In every single one of those cases, it eventually rallied back up to retest that 200-day moving average. It's like an echo through time.
And that's the big takeaway from looking back. History tells us that a relief rally, a pretty decent bounce back to that major trend line, is a really strong possibility, even if the overall market sentiment is bearish. This historical habit lines up perfectly with a potential bounce in all three of the analysts' scenarios.
Okay, so let's boil all this down. What are the absolute most important things to be watching right now? What are the signposts that are going to tell us which path Bitcoin is actually on?
And there's a real sense of urgency here. The analyst literally says that what happens over the next 1 or 2 weeks is going to be incredibly relevant. So this isn't some far-off prediction. We're talking about the very near future.
So let's talk numbers. The key battleground is this resistance zone between roughly $92,800 and $101,200. Think of that as the ceiling the bulls have to shatter. And if they can't, well, the first line of defense, the support level to watch, is down around $90,500.
But look, if you only remember one number from all of this, make it this one, $101,180. According to this analysis, a strong, clean break above that level is the key. That's what unlocks the door for the bulls to really take charge.
And if that door gets unlocked, if history decides to rhyme once again, this is the next major destination. Around $110,000 is where that 200-day moving average is sitting. You know, the same level that got retested after the last 3 death crosses. It's a very real, very tangible target to watch.
So, there you have it. The map is laid out, the key levels are marked, and the historical clues are all there. The only question left is, which path will Bitcoin choose? The next couple of weeks could finally give us the answer.